Is tijd te zauberen?
Ah, lovely. Hello. Oh, I forgot to change the new backgrounds. Because I
Ooh.
actually made some new backgrounds for Nerds and More, but I didn't change them in the live stream. So I will do that right now, before we actually begin. So that will be great. Nerds and More BG, and I will change it to the new one.
Yay.
Uh,
Yay. Yay.
okay, it should be changed now. It's not fully there yet. And then I have to... Why can't I not do right then like that? Okay, it's not really that perfect for some reason, but it is new background. Maybe I make it 3 or 4. Why? Why is OBS so picky? Why doesn't it like it? So it's a little bit bright. It's the same like maybe I can say, but the values and filters. So if you are going now to our live stream, you actually see our new different background. It's the
Yay.
same one we have actually on our offline page. I was thinking, well, why not? Okay.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? I am changing the background so that it looks like it should. Okay, it's a little bit off center, but
Und der Chauffeur?
Führer.
Shutta.
So yeah, if you see the live stream, you will see actually that the background is changed. What do you think of it? It's the same as our offline screen, so our new. I changed it on the
Well,
fly. Maybe our
first,
nerds are
let
more.
me have a look at the screen. I
Okay, then,
already removed the email. See, oh here, on Twitch. All right, let me check. Ooh, ah, that's nice.
yeah, it should be a little bit aligned, but it's just a test so that you actually see the new thing.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yep. Oh, I have to change the color of like Mark, so I actually changed your color.
Yeah, I'm very bright again as usual. I have a lot of light in this room apparently.
Oh well, you have, but it is actually fine. I should change your color to black, then, or not longer white at least. How can I change the color in this shit?
Why is my camera so wide? I mean, it's not able to adjust it.
Actually, I don't know.
It's really filming a lot.
Oh, I don't have that light blue color here.
Again, I hear this really annoying.
Yeah, the fact is, it's not actually on the other part. So I think it has to do with, I don't know. Actually, I can't care less for now.
It's not from my side. I mean, you don't hear anything from here. It's just like your microphone is picking it up.
Maybe, yeah, I don't know.
Well, I know.
I know, you know, and we don't care. Oh, bloody hell. Okay, so I will change it on the fly. But firstly, you can talk about your topic, Mr. Mark.
Yes, well,
Yes, in the meantime, I'm actually adjusting this a little bit because I forgot
thank
to do
you.
that.
Thank you, Mr. Ronny. So, yeah, I was actually not aware that Sony was actually still making Sony Walkmans. I mean, they've been making Walkmans like forever, but I knew there were a couple of years ago they were still making, yeah, Sony Walkmans as like an MP3 player. This is exactly what it is. It's like in phone format, and it's quite thick if I see correctly. But apparently they're still making it, and it looks pretty nice. But of course, the only thing it does is playing music.
Yep.
It
So
does have high end components. Apparently 384 kilohertz something, 32-bit PCM. So it looks pretty nice.
yeah,
But then the price is insane. It says it's HD audio. The price is 830 euros.
I think that's quite expensive.
Yeah, that is an insane price. But then, I mean, they promised that they deliver
Hmm.
like high-end audio.
Oh,
and it does have USB-C connection, but there's also a special audio plug that apparently only fits in high-end headsets of about 300 plus euros.
I think it's
So
quite expensive.
yeah, it is crazy, but it seems to be that there still is a market for these machines, especially in Japan.
Well, of
So
course, it's Japan,
yeah,
so
so Japan is apparently buying like high quality audio players next to their phones. So yeah, I mean, it seems to be a very good piece of equipment, but it's insanely expensive. I mean, would you buy it, Ronnie? It only
no.
has 64 gig memory, by the way. Of course, you can put in an SD card, but it's still insanely expensive. I mean,
Um,
you're the audiophile here, so
I won't even consider buying it. Just to be fair, I mean, I like audio. I'm really a fan of audio, but I just don't want. Not for me. Maybe in the later stadium I might do. Much money, seriously?
yeah.
Why?
But it has a 4.4 millimeter balanced audio connection on the top of the machine. So it is clearly made for people who are totally crazy about totally care about the audio alone. So I guess it's apparently made for a very specific audience. I hope it's big enough because 830 euros. It's an insane price. I once owned a Philips MP4 player
Yeah,
that was kind of a sort of a machine. It had really good audio. I mean, I had to admit it. The audio was fantastic, but the machine itself was also was lacking in onboard storage.
yeah, yeah,
I could slide in an SD card, of course, but that thing was insanely expensive and really, really, really slow. It didn't even run on Android. This thing at least runs Android, so that is good. But
yeah. That's good.
actually, I want to see a YouTube video to see if it's any fast, because if you have to scroll through all your audio files,
Yep.
uh, you will drive you crazy if it's as slow as my Philips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was
Yep.
absolutely horrible to scroll through.
Yep. Well, I think it's quite funny that they actually made that MP3
Yeah,
player. But why? I'm of a Walkman thing. I don't see the reason. I mean, we have good phones.
yeah,
Phones these days also have like decent audio, especially the one with the little
yeah. Mine has
fluid.
Dolby Atmos even. So
Yeah, so even the Samsung phones of these days are actually pretty good. So I
yeah,
don't see the reason. I think it's just a gimmick.
yeah. I guess it's just for the people who are really into audio. I'm reading this test that I made, this English test. I mean, they're very impressed by the audio quality. So I guess, I mean, if you're an audiophile person, you probably want to buy it. But other than that, I wouldn't see why anybody wants to buy this in the Netherlands. Not nowadays, with
No.
the phone, while the phones have such huge storage capacity. Yeah,
Well, that
I wouldn't
depends,
buy it
but
either. Yeah, it looks nice though. It looks more like an amplifier actually. Wow.
well, maybe, yeah. I think no. Just
No,
for me, in
I agree.
this, just from my point of view, in like I'm being an audiophile, not a pedophile, but an audiophile. Just to be clear. Uh, I mean, why should people want to buy it? I mean, if you
Yeah,
are really a fan of
good
like the
question.
Walkman kind of things, yeah, then definitely, maybe, I mean, yeah. And then I don't see the reason. I mean, I got them old like iPod Classic, fifth
Yeah.
generation. The only thing I have it because it's actually connected to my audio here, and I use it as an audio device. So it's
Mm.
actually like a audio player for my audio downstairs, and actually where I want to take it.
Well, I am reading here. It has a built-in amplifier in this Walkman. Sony S Master HX digital amplifier. So apparently, that's probably I mean, it's probably good equipment if you're really into audio. Maybe if you're a recording artist or something. I mean, and you really have to listen to detail and sounds. It might be. Yeah, I see studio circuitry. So
Okay,
yeah, it is
so
it is really high end. But so yeah, it probably sounds great. I
it
agree, but
probably does,
for a
but
very specific audience.
that's completely
Keep it on
true.
that.
Yeah.
Good.
Specific for audience, yeah, totally. I'm just amazed by the background. That actually looks pretty good in the live stream. So actually the new layout. Actually, I just made it like 5 minutes ago. Or like 10 minutes ago. Just for the fun of it, and I was thinking, no. But yeah, to be back on track. Yeah. So if you like audio and you're actually an audiophile like me, you always use a cable. You can. Not on modern iPhones you can't, but that's why I'm still having an old iPhone. So yeah, I like audio. I will never wear a wireless audio device. If I have to listen to good, beautiful music, I will use a cable.
Yeah.
Um,
I
but
mean,
if
this
I'm going
this
with like the public transport, I'm fine to use my GBL audio, which has Bluetooth. That will be fine for
it
public
does look
transport.
silly though. I mean, whenever I see something sitting in the subway, I'm like, you look like a clown. I'm sorry. I think these things are silly. I mean, I have my wireless earplugs in. It looks like I have some weird ear disease that I have to cover my ears or something. But it still looks better than these weird over ear things. I don't know. It looks weird.
Well, I
I
only
don't
have
like
them
it.
because I work in like a call center area. And I have them for 2.5 years, so that's the same length I work in the call center. And I only have them because I have like, since I work there, I have like 45 ear infections in those 2.5 years I'm working for them. Because, and
Hmm?
that's the reason why I'm actually wearing those over ear headsets, so I'm not getting like, any infections or whatever. That's the only reason
Alright.
why I actually wear it. And then the other thing that's actually quite fun is the new YouTube Coppa Alliance. I give you the links if you can read it a little bit. I don't know why is America so fucking. Oh, I won't say the word that, so I will say peep peep peep. Um, just for that. Why are they so retarded? Is it just America that is still retarded like hell? I mean, why should I say to people that my video is not made for kids? Why or made for kids? I don't see the reason because sometimes our videos are clearly made for everyone. I mean, same these videos, not our old school videos from our old gaming channel. Um, if you want to watch it, knows it's gaming events actually. Don't be aware it's not made for kids. um, so I don't see the reason why YouTube has to implement this law. Is it actually a law by the US? I don't know because I don't live there. But I have to mark all my videos made for kids or not made for kids. So I actually saw in the email that I got from YouTube that there are three options: made for kids, not made for kids, or made for kids and also not made for kids. So like a mature audience and non-mature audience in one video, which is possible. And they removed that option, so I'm actually not happy that I have to choose, is my video, it's like the youth nerds and more thing here, is it kids compliant? And I will say yes, but since we like to use some F words from time to time, which is normal for us because we are Dutch, so we can say that. We don't have those stupid laws here. So, yeah, what do you think of it? What do you think why YouTube is actually doing that or actually the US law? Why is the
Well,
US law forcing it? Do they actually want to protect children
yeah.
against F words? Because
No,
that's
no,
America.
they've been violating the law. The COPPA was already there,
And,
but they've been violating it by data mining of children data,
yeah,
and also they were literally breaking the law, so
they are.
they got punished for that. And they were data mining, which is illegal, and they made money out of it. So now they have to be very strict all of a sudden. It's their own undoing because they broke the law. They got fined
Yeah,
big time.
the fact is, we have a Nerds and Gnosis Gaming Friends website from like many years ago. We still have that. I have the Coppa Alliance for like since I have it. I have it turned on, and our website's actually filtered and marked not ready for kids. So children, if you're under the age of 12, you're not even allowed to join there. We have
Nope.
made some exceptions on that forum. I don't manage that forum anymore. So if you join and you say I'm over the age of 12, I mean, if you want to join it, I mean, there's nothing really there. So I don't manage that website anymore. I still do actually. So I've already have it, and I'm thinking, why is YouTube it now heavily doing it? I think, in my opinion, YouTube should have an option that you are made for kids, but also not made for kids. So like we are right now, because our channel, Nerds and More, is definitely child friendly. I mean, we will say the F word from time to time. But yeah, I have now, because of this thing, I have to redo my videos I just made, and I actually want to upload it tomorrow. But I have to remake them, because I said a few times a few words which are not really allowed with that made for kids thing. So yeah, otherwise we will get in trouble. So I have to remake that whole video to actually cut that part out. I mean, I can also like edit it, and I can edit like all the words I said badly, and then replace with something else with censored or whatever. But it's actually a lot of work, and so I think I would just reshoot those videos, the 5 videos I made. Um, yeah, I would think I will do that, and I will actually make a list for myself. When I'm making those videos, I can't say those words, but it's actually quite stupid. That whole made for kids thing, or children as secondary audience. I know that YouTube is breaking the law. They are doing that for many years now. I know, but why all of a sudden? I mean, they are now getting punished, and I have to redo a lot of videos to make them made for kids or not made for kids.
Yeah, it's annoying
For
that
me, it's
you
for me, it's the hassle that I have to on my old channel on the No Such Gaming Friends. I have to do it all manually.
have
But
to
for
do
that,
it retrospectively. That's annoying.
so I have to do that all themselves. So I mean, for my old gaming channel, for our old gaming channel, it doesn't really matter. It's never made for kids, and we
Nope.
always said it's over the age of 18. So yeah, for me, that's a pretty clear point. But this our current one. I mean, I don't know what I have to do. I mean, if I'm made for kids, does that mean that children are actually getting to see my movie? So is our new audience then children? Or also get everyone to see it and then it's actually friendly. I don't know what YouTube is going to do with that. But yeah, I mean, I think we have to see that.
I agree. Yeah, it is annoying that you have to do it, but yeah, if it's law in the US, you better don't want to break it. I know American companies,
Yep, I
and they're
work
they're
for one.
scared. Yeah, they're scared to death about fines by the government. So
Yeah,
because that will mean probably that everybody can sue them in their own country, and that will cost them even more money. So yeah, they're scared to death to do anything, and they will probably always settle and agree with these
well,
with
the
these
only
rules.
thing I'm actually happy with is that what I've heard from a good friend of mine that's actually living in the United States, it's not Jason, someone else.
Hmm.
They said actually they changed the rule. I don't know if it's true because I never really figured out. So what I say might not be true. That actually there was a rule that actually until the age of 16, but they actually changed it to the age of 13. So that's
Mm.
actually better. But it's still stupid. I mean, it's like the US. I mean, the US is always that overprotective piece
Yeah,
of beep. But yeah, I mean, why YouTube? Seriously. I mean, I
yeah,
don't
the
know
US
why
is
I have
always
to say
annoying.
why US. I mean, if I go to the US and I will walk in my underwear and my nephew will be there, for example, in that same room, they will think, "Oh no, that's wrong." I mean, I'm walking there. And who cares? I mean, it's actually like they're overprotected of children, and but I also understand it because in the US, people will make advertising directed, targeted to children. And if you see those commercials there, it's always happy little children eating fat stuff because then they are getting fat. That's what they want. I know that's why America is maybe so overprotective, but it's still quite irritating. Um.
Yeah,
So yeah,
there's
that was
nothing we can do about it right now.
no. So yeah, that's actually my topic that I actually was thinking of, and now you can actually go on with your one. Because you
Yeah.
also have a nice, interesting one actually you found out.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So they just released like the new Ryzen processor. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, that's the top model, the 3900 3950X. So that's even a step higher than the 3900X that is already
Mm-hmm.
out. Um, and yeah, that's the top model. It costs about 750 euros, so it is really expensive. This one has 16 cores effectively. It has 8 cores, but of course it doubles. So it has 16 cores, so the most cores of all.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the war of the cores. Um, And yeah, they've been testing it like a whole lot on our favorite website, Hardware Info, and they've been
Wow.
testing like the shit out of it.
Oh my
And
god, that has a lot.
yeah,
What the hell? Oh
yeah,
god.
16 cores, it's crazy.
Oh, I didn't know
But
how it acts.
of
Oh
course,
my.
this processor is just like Threadripper. It's more focused on. Of course, it's good for any task, but it's more focused on video editing, high.
Well, I
Um,
yeah.
how do you say that? A high. I
What
forgot
is
the
the
word.
word you're looking for, my son, my child?
But it has to work a lot,
But I always work hard. I mean,
It has to work out like doing encryption or decryption or something.
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it
Oh,
really has to work for its money. And yeah, they've been testing it, and of course in that areas it's really good. It's beating the shit out of sorry, it's beating the poop out of the best Intel processor. I mean that's the what is it 98 60
mm-hmm.
EX or something. I mean, it's the highest you can get. It's a processor that costs about 2,000 euros when it was launched a few weeks ago. And then this one costs 750 euros. So, well, you can imagine the difference in money between those two. But it's beating it. It's really beating it by quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is remarkable. What thing? One thing that I thought was a bit on a negative side when you try to play games with it, which it should be suitable for as well.
It should
Um,
be
eh,
definitely, yeah.
yeah, it's not really in the top. It's somewhere in the middle. Although it's only a few points. It depends on the test. A few points or a few frames away of the Intel processors, but it doesn't really beat them. So
No,
eh, that's what I thought was really a bit of a letdown,
let
actually.
down. But I have to
Yeah.
say that even the AMD processors, the Ryzen series, are
Mhm.
even getting a little bit more expensive. But I think 822 euros. I think. Well, I'm actually expected it. So
Well, I mean, this is a really, really high workload processor, which is really created for editing. So of course, it can cost something. But
mm,
if you compare it to Intel, which costs 2,000 euros, I mean, the choice is easy. Intel will easily lose unless they lower down the price of their processor,
yeah.
big
So
time.
let's go to like Adobe because I actually like to work in those things. Okay,
Mhm.
40 seconds to. Okay, that's okay. I've seen better, but okay. Benchmark video and audio encoding. Okay.
Although you really have to look for applications that really use 16 cores
Well, for
because
example,
there are not a lot
no.
who yet use it. So
Well, actually, working with 7-zip, like 4 gigabytes, just make it into a 7-zip file. It does that in 92 seconds. Okay, I've seen faster because the Intel one is faster. But okay, that's cool. And how does it do that with WinRAR? 174 seconds to actually do a 4 gig file. Wow. Okay, okay. That's okay. It's still fast, but I've seen
yeah,
better.
it
Uh,
depends a bit on the application. It also at some point it also is behind the 3900X, which is a classified lower, and it's also
okay.
cheaper.
And then Assassin's Creed Origins at 1080p medium. It's saying 112 frames per second. Okay, that's okay. That's
Yeah,
for me.
it is
For me, it's
lightning fast though. I mean, it's still good. It runs Battlefield 1 almost 200 frames per second uh, without ease, and it's only 2 frames behind the Intel one. But yeah, it's still really good.
yeah, I'm actually quite surprised that Intel's actually that AMD's actually made such a good process, and that they're actually coming a long way. With Risen, they actually
Yeah,
came back from the
I guess
dead.
you have to see it in that light. They actually really made a comeback
They
and
really
are really challenging Intel, which is
and,
really good
and
because
that's
nobody
actually
did
pretty
that for a
good
very long
because
time.
Intel is actually quite boring. That's the same reason
Yeah.
I still have my same computer processor because it's actually bored, and I'm still waiting. I'm still searching for that one deal that will convince me to go to Risen. And I made a little program that's actually running on my Intel NUC that's behind
Well,
my monitor,
maybe with Black Friday.
and it's actually programmed to search for CPUs and automatically buy it if it's under a certain amount the CPUs I actually want with the correct motherboard I want, and if it's all those things under a certain price, my computer is actually programmed to buy it. So I'm actually waiting for the right price to actually buy all that. But that's actually still a waiting thing. But
So
yeah,
which one do you want to buy?
well, actually, that's still a secret. No, it's not. I think I would go for a
Well, it's
Ryzen.
a Risen. I mean,
I think I would go for a Ryzen 5 series. At least as long as it is quad core or even more. So like 4 to 6 cores or 8 cores would be fine. 12 cores also cool, but it's a little bit not I need. It will be great for live streaming though, because then I can do like gaming and live streaming at the same time.
mm.
So that would be cool if you have more cores. But the only thing I'm not really happy with is that I have to buy like DDR4 memory, and I think they are still too expensive.
Well, DDR4 memory, it's not expensive. It's about 100 euros for a very good kit. You get 16 gigs for that. If you
Yeah,
look well and don't buy the most professional one you can get, you probably can get a set between 80 and 90 euros. Actually, it's on the lowest point ever at the moment.
yeah, but in my opinion, if I go back to the DDR3 stage, where I bought my current memory at a very good price point, I have 32 gigabytes of actually 64 gig because I upgraded it later, so it's 64 gig. But I bought half of that for like 87 euros.
Right.
And
Okay.
then I have to compare that to like DDR4 at 16.
But it's probably the same price. I mean, you really should look into it because
Yeah,
all these
well, the
these
fact is,
memory banks are pretty cheap at the moment.
I mean, I'm working, so when I do have time, I actually search for it. That's why I actually have my Intel NUC to actually search for those prices. That's because of my work, even with full
That's because you
contracts.
told me as well it was expensive, but then I created my new computer. I think I paid 90 euros for it or something. That was
Yeah,
it.
well,
That was
actually,
still expensive though, 90 euros.
yeah. So I'm actually looking for a better deal. So that's actually why I'm waiting for Black Friday. I have a budget for Black
Well,
Friday of
that might be a good thing.
like
Yeah.
450 euros for my new computer, like CPU and motherboard and even RAM. Because GPU, I will buy a GPU only when it has a good price. Because I already have a 1080 in my computer now. Yes, Mark, I have. Yes, I have a 1080 in my computer. uh,
Yay!
Actually, I bought it second hand on a UK website. Actually, working great. Um, so yeah, that's actually, and I will want to compare that to like a Risen, which will actually do pretty well, I guess. So yeah, we will see what we are going. And the other topic, actually, the last one. But before we go into that, subscribe to our channel. Come on, people,
Yay!
subscribe.
Subscribe! Come on, subscribe!
So
Subscribe!
if you
Subscribe!
subscribe, if we reach the 50 subscribers on YouTube and Twitch, so we'll do that for the same for all for the two channels. If we reach the 50 subscribers, we will do a giveaway of a gift card of your choice. So it will be 10 euros or 10 pounds, $10 or 10 Canadian rupees or whatever your
Well,
currency
better not do
is.
10 rupees. I don't think it's worth much. So
Whatever, where
10
you,
rupees.
or whatever. We will actually buy a card for you. You will get it of the currency. You can go and buy whatever you want. It might be an Amazon gift card, a YouTube gift card, or even YouTube, whatever you want. We will do that when we reach the 50 subscribers, and then we will do a giveaway. So subscribe,
Yay! Subscribe.
nerds and more. We are nerds with passion.
What is your last topic, Ronnie?
Yeah,
Because I think we have one more topic.
yeah, we have one more topic, and that's actually a thing that I own, which is in repair. It's a bike with an electric motor, an electric hub motor. Oh bloody hell!
Huh. Oh God, here we go.
Um, should you buy one and should you trust one? The answer is both no. Actually, not really. E-bikes, they came actually a long way, and I have a modern one, a 2017 model. I have that. Well, it's actually not mine because I actually got it from a bike shop because my bike's in repair. So when you go into the bike shop and you say, "Hey, I need a e-bike because I have to go to work. So they gave you an e-bike, which doesn't work. I blew up the engine. After I called you, I blew up the engine. So the engine is dead. So the bike shop won't be happy tomorrow when I return that bike and it's dead. I just
How can you blow it up? How did you
uh,
do that?
I think the sensor actually triggered my e-bike. I don't know because it was turned off. The only thing that was turned on was my light. I
Right.
don't know how it blew up. I mean, I heard a great bang in my engine, and it's actually like all the squeezing noises, so it's actually dead.
Well, at least you went out with a banger.
So my bike shop won't be happy tomorrow when I return it. Um, so yeah, but that's their shitty thing. Is they give me a shitty bike. They didn't check it out, and I have to do that. So yeah, e-bikes. There are a lot of differences actually in them, but you have to look them up yourself. So that's actually my experience with e-bikes. I mean, I'm riding e-bike for like almost 14 years or even 15 years. And I never had the issue that I have right now with this rental e-bike. Never had it. I mean, I have issues with e-bikes like dying engines, dying electronics, but not this one. I mean, how can your sensor keep failing even when I replaced the goddamn sensor this afternoon in a bike shop? I replaced the sensor that was actually failing on me. So I paid the bike shop 85 euros for a bike that doesn't even belong to me because I wanted to go to work. But I will get the money back from the bike shop in my local town anyway, so that's fine. But I replaced the goddamn sensor and it's still giving me the same sensor error. So now I actually notice that the sensor is actually in the board computer. And that's actually onto the bike shop, and now also their engine is dead, so yeah, that's actually their issue now. So that's actually quite funny. But yeah, that's actually e-bikes. Yeah, so much to tell about, but you actually have to experience them in order to actually work with them. Because e-bikes are cool. Um, but yeah, you have to maintain them, and I can do all with e-bikes. I can maintain them. I can maintain the electronics. Um, but yeah, but do you want actually, Mark? Do you want to buy an e-bike even when you didn't know about those issues? For example, there were no issues
No,
with e-bikes. And
no,
what's the reason why you don't want to buy an e-bike? Is it because
no.
they might get electronic failures, or
Yeah,
just too much maintenance?
too much maintenance. Expensive to buy one anyway. But
Hmm.
okay, if it's 1,000 euros, I could get myself over the price because if you want to buy a good city bike, it easily costs you 500-600 euros also. But that is very very low maintenance. And if you have this e-bike, everything can break down. Everything will break down. The engine will get worn. You have to bring it away because you cannot repair the engine. Yada 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 yada.
Unless you are
I
technically
would never buy
skilled,
it.
unless you are technically skilled like me, because I can repair that thing myself. For
Yeah,
me, it's
but
not an
unless
issue.
you're skilled, you cannot do anything about it. So
True. So actually, where do you have to look at if you want to buy an e-bike in the first place? Well, if you are living in the lovely Netherlands, also called Holland, but if you say to us you're coming to Holland, we will say you're actually going to a different country. So
yeah, yeah.
that just so that you
You're
know.
coming to the western part of the country. That's called Holland.
Yeah, so that's why.
At North Holland, South Holland. Ronnie lives in Gelderland, which is on the other side of the country. I mean, Holland is not a country. It's just two provinces. So you
Correct.
either mean one or the other. Holland is not a province.
That's correct. Very good.
Yeah.
So
Yay.
if you want to go to with an e-bike, I would actually recommend you one with a mid-engine, with where the engine is actually close to your pedals. But those e-bikes are pretty expensive. So if you can't afford a bike with a mid-engine, you
So why
should
is
go
that? Why are they more expensive?
because they're actually like direct. They're direct drive engines. So when you turn the pedals, they will actually turn on. And the fact is, they are pretty good if you are living like in the highlands, where you actually have a lot of hills. Then they actually give you more power, and they are more
Right.
stable. And the other part is you can actually blow them up pretty easily. That's quite fun. Um, that's actually if you have the money, you will go with that bike. But if you are like me, you don't want to spend that much and you want a bike that's before the e-bike regulation, you have to go and buy an e-bike before 2014. Because if you buy an e-bike for 2014, before 2014, and then you actually have an e-bike which has 10 times more power, a much higher battery amperage. So I have like 85 amp of battery power versus the new ones they only have 20. So actually, when I'm climbing up a hill with my e-bike will say goodbye to you all, and my e-bike won't even break a sweat on its electronics. I mean, it will just go. And modern e-bikes with a mid-engine, you will actually hear them struggle because they have to struggle because they don't have enough power to do that, and because of the law. So yeah, so I will actually go. If you cannot afford a mid-engine, you actually have to go with a bike with a front-wheel engine, not go with a back engine, because if you have to replace your back engine, you have to replace like your coils and all the things you have to replace. That's actually quite expensive and irritating to clean. I would go with a front engine if you can't afford like a mid-engine e-bike. Also, because of the maintenance, a front wheel e-bike engine, hub motor actually called, they're easy to replace. Because if it dies, it will be like 10 minutes work for the e-bike shop to replace your engine. You just
Huh.
take out your wheel and replace it, and it will work
And
instantly.
how often will an e-bike engine die?
After 25,000 kilometers, actually depends on your model. Mine is upgraded, so mine will die at 40,000 kilometers, and I have reached like I only have like 15,000 kilometers left before it will die.
But then you have to buy quite a lot to reach that.
Yeah, but I will do. I mean, I will go to Germany. I will go actually to Cologne on my bike, and that's like 220
Yeah,
kilometers from
but
here.
you are an exception, I think. Most people will never make this 40,000 or
Well,
30,000.
actually, you will make that quite faster than you think. It's quite easily to reach that. Because
Yeah,
if you are using an e-bike, a lot of people actually use it for basically everything. I know one
right.
that actually has an e-bike, and he won't use his car because his e-bike is faster and more reliable, and he can get everywhere. Don't have to stop for traffic lights. So that's the other part. So if you're driving a lot on your e-bike, the
Mm-hmm.
e-bike will burn out. They will say 40,000 kilometers, but modern e-bikes won't even reach it.
Mm.
They will even
All
like
right.
go to like 15,000, and then the engine will start complaining. Like, hey,
Yeah.
my ring tires are dead, so please replace it. Go to the bike shop, 85 euros less. You will have to break the bank.
Sounds very expensive.
E-bikes are expensive, and the fact is, I'm actually going when this e-bike dies. I'll actually go again. I don't know. Maybe I will. I will go with a custom e-bike so I can make my own, which is quite fun to do with a Befang engine. And I will go like Lewis Rossman says, 19.99999 miles per hour. Or actually 29 kilometers. So
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
yeah, so actually I like e-bikes, but I don't really like the very modern ones because they will die and you cannot even repair them. Because I was actually reading the manual, that's why I'm actually bringing up this topic. Because I like to self-repair it and actually try to figure it out. But the new manual says, oh, L2 is blinking, go to your dealer. L3 is blinking, go to your dealer.
Just
It
like a
says
car.
it says with everything, go to the
Yeah.
dealer.
Sensor blinking. Go to the dealer. Let's check it out because they have the laptop with specific software to check it out.
So what I did, I have a laptop with the software of Giant with a control unit, so I can actually plug in my laptop via USB to my bike, and I can actually read it out. So that's actually what I can do because I stole the software from the bike manufacturer. I stole it here. I'm a bad boy. Actually, I
Are you
did.
going to admit that now, right on camera?
Actually, I did. I was actually at my local bike shop where I got this rental e-bike from. They had the software open and they didn't look at me for like 10 minutes. I actually picked my USB drive. I copied the .exe from Giants, and yeah, I did that with other
Maybe you
parts.
don't want to say this
I actually do because they
on
cannot do
camera.
anything. I don't care. So yeah, that's actually quite fun. I did that.
What are you eating?
I'm eating like those Coca-Cola candy bars.
Oh, those things. Oh, those are nice.
Hmm.
Tonight I ate a big chunk of marzipan, but not the
Marzipan.
German one, but the Dutch one
Hmm.
with almonds. There were almonds in it, so
Hmm.
no beans, white beans, but almonds,
Wow.
and it was really nice. Yeah, that tastes so much different than the white beans one.
Yes, we are live, Mr. Arthur 2424.
Yes, we're
And
always
welcome
like
and welcome to the channel.
yes. Hello.
Hello. So yeah, that's actually what I recommend if you buy an e-bike. So just check what you can afford. If you can have like €1,000, you can actually buy it. Buy a front tire, front wheel engine e-bike. Don't buy a mid one, because if you buy a mid-engined e-bike from €1,000, within a year you will go back and actually repair it, because they are shitty
Or
engines.
or do what I always advise to Ronnie:
Hmm.
quit messing around with these dumb e-bikes and buy a moped, because he's spending so much money on this e-bike. It's failing every time. It's dropping. He's losing parts. He's like a little tin man losing his arms and legs, and it's getting less and
Hmm.
less and less.
And that's
Buy a moped.
well, actually, I have a driver license. I have a driver license for that. But the fact is, I don't like mopeds. I just don't like them. I never liked it. I have a license, but I never liked driving a moped. I mean,
I think with a moped you spend, well, you can buy an electrical one nowadays. Those things are really fast, and they're really silent as well. You never hear this annoying humming sound and the smell of fuel when they pass by.
e-bike is next. Actually, you're right, Mr. Arthur. E-bikes are actually next generation. But e-bikes actually exploded. And most e-bikes actually made in China, so they're actually made of cheap parts.
Yeah.
That's what I actually don't like about e-bikes. If you like e-bikes, I mean, buy a good one from your local country. I'm Dutch, so I will actually go for a Dutch or German brand. So my next bike might be I will make it myself. So I will actually convert my German mountain bike, which still exists after 15 years. A German mountain bike that won't die. I mean, maybe I will convert it, or actually go with a Hercules.
Wow.
That are actually good brands. So I think I'll actually go next year, or maybe this year. I will actually go to Roos Bike Town in Bocholt, where they have everything for bikes. I mean, if you like bikes, it's actually heaven. If you've ever been in heaven, that's heaven too, you know. Um, bro, I'm from Russia. We used to drive on bears. Wow, I thought you're in Russia, where actually you. I think you were driving like on bottles of vodka. Vodka.
In Russia, beer drives you. Well,
Oh,
I think we should start a little donation collection. So get Ronnie a moped. Give him an
shut
electrical
it!
moped.
Shut it!
Now I'm thinking about it. Like, I can afford an electrical moped. Maybe that would be handy, because I'm always tired when I'm biking because of asthma.
Yeah.
So if I have a moped, I can just drive around, and it's very silent. It's not polluting. So yeah,
Actually,
why
there
not?
is some pollution. You were actually because electric mopeds, they are quite heavy. So you actually burn the road that's under you, so they have to replace it
Yeah,
quicker.
well, I pay a
Um,
lot. I pay a lot of tax here anyway, and this city doesn't do a lot of
Actually, a
road
good friend
maintenance.
of
So
mine has a Tesla Model X, and I'm actually driven it.
yeah.
So yeah, I can actually drive Tesla. I actually did that illegally on on a parking lot. So I
So
can
how's
drive.
that?
Actually, Teslas, they are quite cool cars.
They're
Uh,
really advanced, are they? A lot of
they
package.
are. But the fact is that Tesla got an error message like the message that well he said he didn't tell me that. So every time when I press the power to actually pedal, the pedal actually to give it power to actually move forward, because it's an e-pedal, so that pedal is also braking. He never told me that, so I was like, okay. It says pedal not found .exe.
Okay,
It
that's
gave me
weird.
the error that it wasn't able to detect the pedal, and then it wasn't able to detect
By pedal, you mean the gas pedal?
no, the electric motorized pedal. That's how they call it.
Yeah, this is the gas pedal.
Yep. Yes, that Tesla had only like one pedal for braking and for
That
just.
is weird. How the hell do you do that? You just let go of the pedal or something?
I don't know what actually. That was actually quite weird experience. But when it was driving, it was actually pretty fast. I actually burned the batteries on that car park in 25 minutes because I was driving insanely fast. The motor was overheating quite quickly. Because well, he told me that. He said, "Well, this Tesla is actually broken, but for you, it's
Okay.
like." He told me that. So the Tesla is now repaired. It costed him like €60,000 to repair it.
Yeah, Tesla is expensive to buy. They're 50,000 euros alone, I think. You can
Yep.
only buy it by credit card, because we get customers all the time who want to buy Tesla.
Well, actually, that's the cool part. That's actually a good jump from like electrical e-bikes to Teslas. Uh, the other part is batteries, because you have to goddamn charge them. I have to, if I go to my work with my bike, I have to take out the battery pack, which is like 6 kilos, because it's quite heavy, because that's the thing with lithium ion, with cobalt. They're actually quite heavy. So I have to take it out and you have to charge it. Same goes with electric cars, you have to charge it. And in my opinion, there are not enough electric charging ports to actually charge up at a fast speed. Because the one that we have at work, two are actually like fast charging, and the other one are slow charging. So yeah, that's
Yeah, the whole charging thing. I mean, you have to. An electric car is nice, but you have to. In the Netherlands, it's all right because there you have charge ports in the big cities
yep.
primarily. But
From
here, if I take my city, which is just 20 kilometers outside Amsterdam, I mean, in my neighborhood, there's not even one charge pole, and then you have to call the city and request them to build one for you. I think it's really weird, and because if you don't have one, you have to drive to the shopping mall, which is 10 minutes away, and park your car there to just charge it. I
Well,
mean, it's really
actually,
weird.
the fact is, a few people in my street are actually requested a Tesla Powerwall, so that actually they actually had to pay like Tesla for solar panels and electrical grid. So maybe yeah, you have to do that. I mean, to have everywhere a Tesla charger and to actually charge up your vehicle in less than 25 minutes. That's actually
Well, that is very good, but then you have to. I think that the city charges you for building one. I think.
yeah, but they're quite expensive, those charging
Yeah,
poles.
exactly. So
We
they
I
will charge you because yeah, they have to connect the power grid on the ground.
I
But
have in my town, in my local town, I've counted with because I actually can remember the license plate. That's actually the other part that I don't like of being autistic and photographical memory, but well, sort of. So I actually count license plates, and I said, okay, I counted like 360 license plates, which are all electric vehicles, and I only
Mhm.
counted like 6 charging poles in my whole town.
Yeah,
And most people don't even have their own charging.
no, you have to share it, or no. Sometimes you can share one pole. You can connect more cars to it, but
Well,
I don't know. There are different ones everywhere.
the
So
fact is, the the power grid is not strong enough to
oh,
deliver enough amperage to the pole. So actually, if you do that, at some point you have to replace the entire electrical grid because you can't.
well,
Because they want to do that here in my street, and the people said actually they want to do that. They said, yeah, we can, but then we have to replace everyone's electricity cables because the current watt hour here is not good enough. The cables actually burn in the ground if you do that.
yeah,
They'll
but
actually
of course
burn.
it's not built for charging cars. I mean, it was built for primarily in the 60s and the 70s to just
To
give your
turn,
house a little bit of power.
yeah, to turn on the light, turn on
Yeah,
your
turn on the
like,
lights, watch TV. That's it.
turn on your and later turn on like your computer with 1 megahertz speed, or
Yeah,
now we have to power on like 5.4 gigahertz computers with a lot of
yeah.
things.
All this equipment that you have, phones and loaders and whatnot, everything's chargeable. So
Yeah, but the good part about the e-bike I have right now, because it's a rental one, I can charge my phone on my
yeah.
bike. I can charge it. I can charge my phone, and this bike is
Ronny,
and this bike
Ronny,
is Wi-Fi.
buy a moped.
I have a moped license.
Yeah, but you don't have a moped. Buy a moped.
No, no, that's actually a quite funny story. Since
Buy a moped.
no, that's actually the reason why I actually got an electric bike in the first place, and why I got a moped license. There is actually a reason why I have the license and I have an e-bike, because I never found a moped that I actually liked. Because I'm
Well, they're
fair,
usually quite bulky.
and the fact is I'm very very picky on mopeds.
You're picky in everything, Ronnie.
True. There was actually I've tried like a moped from Peugeot, from uh, BMW, because they also had mopeds. I was actually quite surprised that BMW had mopeds. But okay, this was quite fun. I was actually driving on it. The BMW one was actually the only one I liked,
But that was
but
probably quite expensive.
for quite expensive. That was the only moped I was actually feeling like, hey, I like this one.
Hmm.
This one is good. This one is trustworthy because, first of all, it's German. It's not like Peugeot. Those things always break down because it's French. Um, that's always the thing with French cars; they always break down because that's how the
Oh,
French they actually make things with breads and like with peanut and with jelly and
le pipi and le poupou. Well, all the French cars I drove never broke down. They never broke down on the highway or something.
well, I had driving lessons in a car that was actually French and also one in a German car, but you actually like the gearbox actually disappeared under the car. So I was
Oh,
actually selecting gear and then the gearbox fell down. And it once happened on a French car and one on the German one.
huh.
But the good part is, after that, I had to drive in a Mercedes.
Yeah,
Ah,
that is a big
I
difference.
mean,
Yeah.
that was actually like car porn. I can say that word because I said it with another word in front, so that's actually like that. Like we have a channel actually here called 24 Kitchen, and they have a program that's called Food Porn. So it's a good word, YouTube and US law. We can say that word.
I
It's
must
food porn.
admit, my first Peugeot that I had, that thing had some new issue every other week. Then the headlights just disappeared.
Buy an
Then my
e-bike.
rear door wouldn't open anymore.
Wow,
Then my tires were flat. Of course, that had nothing to do with the car, but that it did happen.
that
And
happened, yeah.
then I had one time that I drove all the way to Belgium with almost no front brakes, which was interesting.
Oh, that is quite interesting.
Yeah, and
Okay.
it made a weird metallic sound already when I started the car, and every time I was braking, I heard like, but that's where the brake shoes just trying to grab onto something, but everything was gone. So yeah, interesting. But they replaced everything all the time. They even picked some dents out of my roof that a previous owner made. I don't know how she did it, but
Okay.
uh, she said some she said some nuts fell on the roof right in the middle. It was a big dent.
Wow.
That was the weirdest excuse I ever heard. Like,
Oh, I also
yeah,
had it on
a
my
nut fell on my roof.
well, I
What?
also had it like with my e-bike that my electrical brakes didn't work, and then you're driving on a bike 48 kilometers per
Yeah, it is
hour,
quite
and then your
scary. Yeah.
electronical brakes doesn't work, and
If
you're
it's all
not.
electric, that's the big downfall. I mean, if it doesn't work anymore,
Well, they
you're
were
screwed.
actually electric versus like a little bit mechanical, and also like so they were actually controlled by my e-bike's engine. It was actually my first e-bike. I was driving 48 kilometers to like 60. My brakes, the normal brake pads that I had, were actually not designed to actually brake harder than 25 kilometers per hour because they're not designed for that. So actually, I was braking, and actually they fell off and they started to smell. So I then was thinking, okay, these brakes are not capable of braking down my bike when I'm driving too fast. Okay, I gave up on that part. And then my electrical brakes didn't work, so my bike wasn't braking. So
So
my
you had
bike
to brake with your feet, like.
actually no, I had to turn off, actually remove the battery while driving
Okay.
because my bike, my
So
fir-
you're like balancing behind you, trying
no, the fact
to
is
grab the battery.
my e-bike wasn't responding anymore. So I had to even my buttons to turn it on or off didn't work. So my bike was going fast. So I actually had to like get my keys because I always
Uh,
have my battery key in a different
Buy
compartment.
a moped.
No, so I actually had to. It was like 15 years ago, my first e-bike. I was driving too fast. My e-bike wouldn't stop anymore. So I had to disconnect the battery while driving, and I had to disconnect it, and then my bike shut it down. My electric brakes came back for like 3 seconds, and I was able to brake. And my battery was dead. It was laying all over the road like battery cells. And then other cars came, and I said, "Well, I actually asked them to stop. They did." And I said, "Yeah, why did we do that?" And I said, "Well, according to your car, I smell like a lot of oil. And here's my battery pack, which is open, oil and battery pack, like 80 amps. Not good combination. To actually blow it up." Um, so yeah, it was quite funny. So my whole battery pack was laying without its case on the highway, and a car came which was actually able to smell the burning oil, because that's actually what you can smell if an oil is burning. It was actually also leaking. So it was quite fun. So my battery pack was quite fun. and then I was thinking, why is my bike, why is my battery smoking? I mean, it was smoking. So yeah, and it was quite
So,
hot actually. You can
so-
actually see that the cells are actually going red. So they're
yeah,
actually like, oh my god, quite funny.
yeah, that's not very good. But
Yep, yep,
yeah,
you
Ronnie,
round it off.
I do want to talk with you for ages about e-bikes, but yeah, let's go to the end of the stream.
Yep. So again, 50 subscribers will give you
Yep,
a €10, pound, dollar, or any Russian
Canadian rupees, like Ronnie
or
said,
like Russian currency. I don't know.
Russian rubles.
They've actually like
That
so.
rubles is like 5 cents, so that's all right.
Okay. So yeah, if you have 50 subscribers, we'll actually do a giveaway of that, of your choice, of your store. Then we'll see. I will say thank you for the sponsors, which
Yes.
we don't have. I will say good night. Cheers, love.
Well, bye bye. Bye.
Yay,
Yeah.
yay.